That's your president. If you're new, go ahead and press the subscribe button. If any of y'all have not read the Declaration of Independence in total, I really recommend you check it out. Because the Declaration of Independence will really show you how our country came to be. The document itself is so heartfelt and truly shows you that we tried to break off from another government to form our own, to have freedom. What are the powers, duties, and responsibilities of the United States President? Well, the typical expectations are the economy, the security of our country, proper dealings with foreign nations, the example of leadership. You know, you gotta lead by example, right? You gotta lead by example. Education, and let's be honest, some wanna tickle our fancy sometimes. The common U.S. citizen should at least know 4 things the president has done in their presidency, at least for their term. 1 for every year, right? 1 major milestone. Don't mean to digress. The president has power to 1, appoint Supreme Court judges and members of his administration. 2, fill up vacant seats in the Senate for 1 session if it's necessary. 3, shut down the government when he or she, as president, deems necessary to do so. In Section 3, Article 2 of our U.S. Constitution. You might be asking now, what are the duties of the U.S. President? 1, take care of the laws. Make sure they're faithfully executed. 2, being Commander-in-Chief, the U.S. Army and the Naval Forces are under his command. In special cases, also the National Guard. 3, give a State of the Union address. This is usually televised. And finally, the responsibilities of the U.S. President are, lack for better words, the preamble of the Constitution. Have you ever read the preamble? Moving on. What are the limitations to the executive branch's powers? The pay of the United States President. At the time of this recording, the Constitution states that the president's annual salary cannot exceed $400,000. And also it says the president of the United States cannot receive emoluments, which means they can't receive any other salary or do another job in public service in the government while being president. It's called conflict of interest. Next, the president of the United States can only serve a maximum of 2 terms. And to be more specific, 2 4-year terms, unless they're cut short. Impeachment. Also, the president is not above the law. Can I say it again? The president is not above the law. If an active president commits treason, bribery, high crimes and misdemeanors, they can be under threat of impeachment. A president cannot form executive orders that are in opposition to the Constitution of the United States of America.
You might want to rewind that again.
A president cannot overrule states. States rule themselves. They rule how they want to rule. The Supreme Court can overrule the president if the actions of a president are unconstitutional. Next, what are checks and balances? No, we're not talking about checks from your job. No, we're not talking about balances in your bank account. Checks and balances are active measures that limit the power of a certain entity or person or persons in leadership. You know that saying, absolute power corrupts absolutely. The president, the Supreme Court, and the Congress balance each other out. The president has power to prevent legislation from being passed into the law, aka veto.
Perfect.
The Congress can impeach a sitting president. And also a 2/3 majority vote can override the veto of a president to make legislation they pass in the House and Senate the law of the land. The electoral process. The common person, as I once believed one vote equals 1 point. They count up all the tallies, the points. Whatever candidate had the most votes wins the election. I wish it was that simple. But that's not how it works. As far as the U.S. president is concerned, so each state, they hold elections respectively in their state, and people cast votes, which is called the popular vote. Whoever wins the popular vote, the electors takes those votes, and then whatever that state's number is worth, that's how many points that candidate gets. Whoever's first to reach 270 votes becomes president-elect until they're sworn in, usually on January 20th the following year. The amendments of the U.S. Constitution that pertain to the United States president, being number 12, 20, 22, and 25. Moving on. If you came this far in the video, thank you. Make sure you throw a like. Finally, I find it funny that when someone doesn't like a particular government that's established at the time, they overthrow that government. Check me out. Just to establish another government. Really, the cycle goes on and on and on. If you made it this far, I need you to tune into this video in the corner. If you want more, I have a question for you. Do you believe president should have more than 2 terms? Should they go back to the FDR days and have maybe 4+ terms? Second question, should those in the Congress have term limits? Let me know. Until next time, God bless you and thank you for watching. I wrote this down.